for today's video I am coming to you with my best beauty products of 2014. Now I know there's been a whole load of these going around the internet for the last few weeks. Everybody and their mother seems to be doing them, but I really wanted to put together my best products from 2014 because it was a year that I tried so many different things and I found some real gems. I found a load of muck too, which I will do in another video. I am hoping to video my least favourite products of 2014 as well. So I might as well just get right in because this is, I have a feeling, going to be a long video because I have so many products that I want to tell you about, but I want to try and keep it as short as possible. So first up, I'm going to start with foundation, as 2014 seems to be the year that I tried 101 different foundations. I swear to God, I went through a stage there in middle of the year around that time where I must have tried a new foundation every single week. Now, I've said it to you before and I will say it again. I never ever try a foundation without getting a sample. Like, I will go from counter to counter and I will get the same sample so that I know that I really like it, because I don't want to spend 30, 40, even 50 quid on a foundation to find out that I really don't like it. So my first foundation is one that I discovered at the start of the year, and this is in fact my second bottle of it, and that is the Makeup Forever Liquid Lift Foundation. This is a medium coverage foundation. It is long lasting. It doesn't wear away that much. Like, if I get any kind of wear, it's usually around kind of this area, and that's what I find happens in fairness with most foundations on me. It has a satin finish to it, so it's not dewy and it's not matte. It's kind of somewhere in between, and it gives your skin kind of a luminous, glowy look to it. Skin type wise, I would say this is suited to probably those that have more of a dry leaning. If you have oily skin, I don't think this is going to be the one for you. I know Makeup Forever have a lot more foundations that are suited to people with oily skin, but this is definitely one for people with more dry skin, as because of the ingredients, it's not going to sit on any dry patches. It's also really good for more mature skin because, again, of the ingredients, it's not going to sit in your fine lines. That's the Makeup Forever Liquid Lift. Next up is a foundation that I have raved about on the blog, and I reviewed it, and I will put the review down below along with any other products that I mentioned that I've already reviewed. And that is the Estee Lauder Perfectionist Youth Infusing Makeup. Now, don't be put off by the youth infusing kind of tag and think that it's a foundation for owl ones. It's really not. It in fact contains the Perfectionist Serum. The Estee Lauder Perfectionist Serum is an anti-aging serum that's been raved about left, right and centre. And this contains that serum, so therefore the foundation has like anti-aging properties to it. I find that the days I love to wear this is when my skin is looking that little bit tired, or I don't know about you, but in the morning lately I'm finding it really hard to get out of the bed, and I wake up, I look in the mirror and I nearly die of the shock. I'm like an owl hag. My eyes are puffy, my skin is in really good condition at the moment, but it can still look tired, and I find that this gives my skin that little bit of life again. It gives it such a kind of luminous glow to it. It's a medium coverage foundation, and again I would find that this is probably suited to people with more normal, slightly dry skin. The third and final foundation that I have loved in 2014 is one that I have worn for years and years, and for some reason, I don't know why, I just stopped wearing it all of a sudden. But this year I decided to give it a go again, and I have fallen completely head over heels in love with it again, and that is MAC Pro Longwear. This is just such a brilliant foundation. I cannot tell you how much I've been loving this lately. And over all my other foundations, and I have a drawer full of them, like seriously, I have a ridiculous amount of foundations. I have a problem. This is the one I've just been reaching for in the last couple of months. It is just, I suppose I put my makeup on first thing in the morning. 7:30 my makeup goes on. And it needs to stay on all day because I don't have the luxury of being able to take out my mirror to check myself. So if I have patchy bits, that's me looking like a minger for the absolute day. With this, I don't have to worry about how my skin looks. Skin type wise, again, I'm going to say this is probably for people that have a little bit dry, a little bit oily, and if you're anything either side of that, you're going to have to look for something else. I love this that much that I've decided this is more than likely going to be the foundation I wear on my wedding day, because it just gives a completely airbrushed look to the skin, and I know that I won't have to think about it like melting off my face or anything as the day progresses. When it comes to powders, there really is only one brand that I can talk about, and that is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. These things have just not left my face this year. I bought these particular two in January and I have used them more or less every single day since. And as you can see, while I have hit pan on them, I still have quite an awful lot left. So they are expensive, but they are really, really, really long lasting. These are basically finishing powders that are meant to mimic a certain lighting to give your skin a certain kind of look or glow. Yeah, I don't know how much I buy into that, but what I do know is that they make my skin look lovely. There are days sometimes that when I put my foundation on, it looks a bit kind of, oh God, you can't go out like that. But when I put these on, it all of a sudden looks, okay, right, you can face the world again. I cannot recommend these enough. For bronzer, I have two favourites of 2014, and my first up is the NARS Laguna. And as you can see from this, I have used it quite an awful lot this year. I use this in a few different ways. First off, on lazy days, I'll just take a big brush, swirl it in and swipe it just over my face to give a little bit of a sun-kissed look. I also tend to use it as a daytime contour. Now I know it's not exactly the best contouring powder because there is a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but you know what, works for me, and if it works for you, just go with it. I just really like the effortlessness of this. It's not going to look muddy on your face. Instead, it just looks really, really natural, and that's what you want with a little bit of contouring. You don't want so much contour on that you look like you've been smacked in the face and you're bruised, as I've seen many ladies knocking around Dublin looking. My second bronzer is from a brand that I just can't get enough of this year, and that is the Wet n Wild bronzer in the colour Ticket to Brazil. I use this more or less the exact same way as with the NARS Laguna bronzer. This is probably a little bit more of a lighter colour, and therefore I have found that I use this quite an awful lot during the summer when I wasn't wearing makeup and I just wanted to give my skin a little bit of a glow. I also use this regularly to bronze down my neck because I like to have a little bit of colour down along my neck and chest if I'm not fake tanning. For highlighter, there really is no highlighter this year that I have come across that is as good as the Mary Luminizer from the Balm. Cannot tell you how much I love this. You've seen me rave about it on the blog, and I know a few of you have bought it since and just loved it. God, this is just such a gorgeous bronzer. It's so pigmented, like, I mean, the pigmentation is ridiculous that you have to be quite light with your brush, and I do, when I apply it just up to the tops of my cheekbones, I do kind of rub it in with my Nema Kabuki brush. It is a champagne-y colour, and I find that it is really, really a good colour for Irish skin tone. It's also not ridiculously expensive at €19, and supposedly, while I haven't had mine that long, it is meant to last a very, very long time. For blusher in 2014, I have tried actually quite a few blushes this year, but hands down my favourite blusher was MAC Margin. This is a frosted finish blusher from MAC, and it is just, oh my god, it is so beyond beautiful. Since I bought this, all my other brushes have more or less sat in the drawer. Every so often I'll get the gilts and I'll be like, oh god, I need to use some other blushes, but I always end up coming back to this. I just love it. It is a peachy corally colour, and as it has the frost to it, when you apply it to your cheeks, it will give just a little bit of warmth and a little bit of glow. So it is perfect for the winter months and also for the summer. Moving on to eyes, and this one was an easy one for me to pick my favourite, because there is one brand that stood absolutely head and shoulders above all else, and that is the Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I cannot tell you just how wonderfully amazing these eyeshadows are. These eyeshadows, they just give me absolute life. They are everything I've ever wanted and more from an eyeshadow. They are just that good. They're really, really easy to work with. Like, so easy. They blend beautifully. They don't need an awful lot of work to get the look that you want. The pigmentation is phenomenal, to the point that you barely have to touch your brush off the colour. Like, I can never remember which ones are which here, but this is Bitten and Burlesque. But look, I'm barely going to even touch these, and the colour pigmentation on these, if I give them a good swipe, holy mother of sweet divine Jesus, they are just phenomenal. Like, it's, look at that. They are just unbelievably pigmented. Colour wise, there's quite an awful lot to choose from. I went for kind of warmer, kind of burgundy browns and a few kind of purpley pinks. It was just the mood I was in at the time. I definitely need to go back and invest in more. I definitely want to get a few more brown tones, and I want to try and add a few more cooler tones into my collection, as I tend to always lean towards warmer tone shadows. The only downside to Makeup Geek eyeshadows is trying to order them. They are an absolute pain in the neck to get into Ireland because of customs. Basically, you need to keep your order in and around €26 or lower, or the postman is going to knock on your door with a bill for customs. It's absolutely so annoying. It drives me insane. I got the vast majority of mine when I was in America. I got them delivered to the house where I was staying, so I did kind of escape customs that way. But I have put in an order from here, and my order I think was maybe €26, and I didn't get charged customs. I have another order going through when I get paid next week. I have a few more that I want, but I'm going to put it through in 2 separate orders. Delivery isn't that expensive if I remember correctly, so I will prefer to put in 2 separate small orders than get caught for customs, because that would just turn my stomach to have to pay customs. My favourite eyeliner of 2014 is going to come as no surprise, as this eyeliner is just phenomenal, and that is the Physicians Formula 2-in-1 eyeliner lash boosting serum. Yeah, that's what it's called. Big, massive, long name on it that there's no need for. This is just the perfect eyeliner. It has perfect stiffness on the nib. It gives out just the right amount of product. It's wet, so it means it doesn't drag on your eyes. It goes on easy, it stays on, it stays black, it doesn't fade down, it comes off easy. My God, I could go on for ages. As for the lash boosting qualities of it, I think that's a little bit of a gimmick, to be honest. But as an eyeliner, this is just phenomenal. There is nothing that is as good as it. I know I did recently review the Blank Canvas Cosmetics Borderline pen, and while that is good and it comes in a good second place to this, it's not as good as this. This is saucy out for a budget eyeliner at €16, but I've been using these since, I'm inclined to say, March, and this is only my second one, and I've still got a good bit of time left in this. It's not drying out, so they do last for a long, long time. I've been trying to get a list of stockists for Physicians Formula, so I will link it down below, because they are actually quite hard to find. There's not that many of them around the place. I've actually 2 favourite mascaras of 2014, and first up is the Makeup Forever Smoky Extravagant Mascara. This is just brilliant. It gives your eyelashes volume as well as length. It doesn't clump your eyelashes, doesn't flake anywhere. So yeah, this is definitely a really, really, really good one. Second one up is a little bit harder to get, as you can only get it on Amazon or if you're in the States. I've got a few sample sizes of it. I haven't managed to get my hands on the full size one yet, and that is the Lorac Cobra Mascara. It is called the Cobra Mascara because of the shape of the head. I don't know if you're picking it up there, but basically the head on it is shaped like the head of a cobra. Again, this is not dissimilar to the Makeup Forever one. It'll give your lashes length, volume, and again, they won't go clumpy. And it's really, really, really black. I love how black this one is. Lipstick wise, I've quite a few colours and lipsticks that I actually liked, but for my favourite this year, I'm going to give you a range of lipsticks that just blew me away, and that is the Wet n Wild Mega Lash lipsticks. These things are freaking amazing. At only $2.99, I can tell you, these rival, if not beat, a lot of the higher end lipsticks I have in my collection. They are just fantastic. They are a semi-matte lipstick that is long wearing but not drying on the lips. They're really, really pigmented. They are just so good. The only thing that lets these down is the packaging, because if you can see here, they are just so flimsy, and what ends up happening, I always throw my lipsticks into my handbag. The lid ends up coming off, and the amount of bloody handbags I have with lipstick marks all over the inside from the lid of these coming off. If these had better packaging, I swear to God I wouldn't use anything else. From the Mega Lash lipsticks, my most used colours have been the Bare It All colour, which is a dupe for MAC Velvet Teddy. I mean, it is identical to it. You could not tell the difference between the two. I'll stick a picture in and around here somewhere so that you can see. Also, Spotlight Red. I love this. This is just such a gorgeous blue toned red. Really, really long lasting and not drying on the lips, which is fantastic. And then finally, I can't find it, but it's one that I wear during the day quite a lot, and it's called Mauve Out of Here, and it's kind of a muted mauvey pink colour. And what I love about it is you put it on and it stays for a good few hours, and when it wears off, it leaves a little bit of a stain on your lips, so it looks like you still have a little bit of lipstick on. So that is my favourite products of 2014. I had so much more that I could have included, but I really wanted to keep it condensed down as much as I possibly could, because to give you what was the best of the best, rather than I like this, this is good too. I hope that you can see that these are the products that I love and that I can 100% stand behind and go, you need these in your life. I'm hoping tomorrow to film my least favourite products of 2014, because when you're trying out so many different bits, there is a whole load of rubbish you come across too, and I know people love to hear about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love if you guys could subscribe to the channel. If you liked it, give it the thumbs up, and yeah, talk to you soon.